The Vinyl Frontier, The Story of NASA's Interstellar Mixtape by Jonathan Scott. Narrated by Mark Elstob. Prologue. I still remember the first mixtape someone made for me. It had 3 words written on the side in blue ink. Punk for Jono. This playlist was produced in around 1987, 10 years after the launch of the Voyager space probes. Unlike the Voyager interstellar message, it wasn't imprinted on a golden record encased in an aluminium cover and attached to the side of a spacecraft. It was a plastic C90 tape handed to me by Ed, a cool kid in the year above. The only thing it had in common with the Voyager records was that it included music selected by human hand. I would have been 12. I'd stopped listening to Starlight Express, noting that Lloyd Webber musicals didn't carry much weight in the school coolosphere, and had recently discovered the Blues Brothers, Atlantic Soul Classics, and Otis Redding. Then Ed made me a tape. He only recorded one side of the tape, and there was quite a long gap at the end, so it can only have been around 40 minutes in length. The tape has not survived, but my memory of it remains clear. Ed set the record levels a little too high, so by the time Topper Heden's rumbling intro to I Fought the Law had crescendoed, the drums were distorting. Then came the power chords. It was indescribably thrilling. Let's just say Arthur Conley's sweet soul music suddenly seemed a little thin. Although I would like to make it clear that I still really love sweet soul music. Ed's compilation taught me the importance of starting strong. And even though I haven't actually seen this particular tape for 15 years, I can still recall every song. 2 more by The Clash, Safe European Home, Guns of Brixton, Guns for the Afghan Rebels by Angelic Upstarts, Greatest Cockney Rip-Off by Cockney Rejects, Seattle by PIL, Eton Rifles by The Jam, Anarchy in the UK by the Sex Pistols, and The Damned covering Jet Boy, Jet Girl. This was the first mixtape someone made for me, and in a way it remains unsurpassed. Around the same time, I received a double tape deck for my birthday. Suddenly, at my disposal was the heady power of being able to share and disseminate music. I was able to easily transfer any music I had from one tape to another. I'm pretty confident I owe Whitesnake quite a lot of money. I must have supplied copies of Here I Go Again, from Now That's What I Call Music 10, to most of the boys in my dormitory. But the first proper compilation, mixtape, playlist, whatever you want to call it, that I made for someone else came much later. It was for a girl called Beth. It was the summer term of my penultimate year at boarding school. I had just emerged from a 4-year imprisonment in braces. I joined a band. I got drunk. I had successfully snogged 1 female to date. Then a friend informed me that Beth had taken a shine to me. That was the summer I found out a little of what love was like. I'd had crushes before, Firuza Balk in Return to Oz, for example, but nothing like this. I didn't know her well. She was a couple of years younger than me, but she was pretty and funny, with a disarming, slightly dozy way of moving and talking as if her body was suspended from a head full of helium. Messages were exchanged. We were to meet at Doctor's Lake after lunch. We had the whole afternoon. Doctor's Lake was in reality a fairly dismal pond, but it was a place within school grounds where couples might go with a relatively high expectation of solitude. We went there. We were alone. I remember it being hot. I remember being terrified of any physical contact. I remember leaning back, accidentally touching her hand, and actually screaming with the shock. The afternoon wore on. Screaming aside, there had been no physical contact. It was becoming awkward. We had to go back to our respective boarding houses soon. Eventually we did, walking in a slow, meandering way, conscious of important work still to attend to, expectations to be met. Then, as we approached the back of the old squash courts with the leaky roof, we faced each other. I pushed through a bewildering
Sample complete. Ready to continue?